What I want to do here is I've got all these light fixtures and they're all fluorescent bulbs, which are old school. I mean, they're not that bright. They can fail with the ballast. They don't come on bright when it's cold out. So I want to convert all these fixtures and put LED lamps in them. And let me show you exactly how I go about doing that. So this fixture is going to be relocated. So I've taken it down, I've got it on the bench here. I'm going to rewire it on the bench. It will make doing a video on it a lot easier for you guys to understand and see. I bought a box of 4-foot T8 LED tubes. And I'm going to rewire this fixture. I'm going to remove that ballast and rewire this fixture so that that tube will go into this fixture and work properly. But before you order your light bulbs, your tubes, you got to understand whether the tombstones, which are these things here, and they're probably called that because they kind of resemble a tombstone, but these come two ways. Either shunted, meaning they're both sides are connected to each other, or non-shunted, where each side is isolated from each other. These happen to be shunted, which means if you put power on any one of the terminals, the whole thing is connected. And once you've determined that, then you can buy the correct bulbs, because these bulbs they come either powering one end and grounding the other, or powering one terminal and grounding the other. So the circuit either goes completely through the whole lamp, or it just goes right in one end. So you've got to determine what kind of tombstones you got. These are shunted, they're all connected. And so I'm going to wire this thing up so that one end of this lamp has got power going to all of them, and the other end of this lamp is the neutral going to all of them. And then so the circuit is going right through the whole length of the lamp. Either way, it's not very difficult, and I'll just show you how it's done with these shunted tombstones. Right, the first thing I want to do is remove this ballast. It's got one Phillips screw on one end, and then it comes out. And then with some wire cutters, I'm just going to cut these wires as close to the transformer as possible, so I'll have plenty of wire if I need it. So now this is gone, and this is what we have left. Alright, just going to strip an end of these to give me some wire to work with.
This is 16 gauge wire. And I'm going to strip this end.
Right, so these are going to go together. I'm going to make this my AC hot. I'm going to wire it to the black wire. And this is going to be AC neutral, the white wire, and then a ground going to the fixture. Okay, so here I am. I've taken this fixture obviously out of the ceiling, and up in the ceiling is left with the power wires. So I've just installed this kind of fake wire just to show you what I'm doing here on the bench. These don't go to anything. This is just a piece of wire. But this is what you're going to have. You're going to have a ground going to the fixture. You're going to have a black wire, AC hot, a white wire, AC neutral. And all we're going to do is we're going to hook the black AC hot to one end of this fixture, all of the terminals on this end, and the AC neutral to all of the terminals on this end. And so we've got two blue wires. If you looked over here, they both go to each of the tombstones, and the tombstones are connected, both terminals on each one. So we're going to go AC hot to every terminal on one side of this fixture. And then AC neutral is going to every terminal on both tombstones on this end of the fixture. And we're just going to twist this up with a wire nut. And that's it. Now we're just going to reassemble this fixture, put the bulbs in, and we're done. Okay, so I've rewired that one on the bench here so you can get a good look at exactly what needs to be done. It's not very difficult, but in reality you're probably not going to be rewiring them on a bench. You're more likely going to be working up in the ceiling up over your head. But it's really not that much more difficult, and I'll rewire one that's up on the ceiling and show you how easy it is. Okay, so the first thing you want to do obviously is turn the light off, and this light is set on a light switch, so I know when I throw the light switch that all the power to this fixture is off. Now if your fixture happens to work on a pull string, then that's a different story. Just because you pull a string and turn the light fixture off, there's still live voltage in that fixture. So, I mean, I've got mine off by a light switch, and as long as someone doesn't come in here and say, hey, Dad, why are you working in the dark? Let me help you out, and throws the light switch on, that could be a problem. Alright, light on the wall, turned off. I know there's no power left in this fixture anywhere. So we're safe to go at it. And then we're going to take this reflector off. Okay, so this should look just like the workbench. We've got, this lamp is in the middle of a run. So we've got two wires. They've got two blacks and two whites. Just because it's going on past this fixture. But we're going to remove.
Separate all the whites, the neutrals.
And all the blacks. The hots. And then it's the same thing. It's the blues on one end and the red goes to the other. And we're just cutting all of these out. Okay, now we can remove this ballast. Okay, that's easy enough. We'll unwrap these so they reach the center of the fixture. That's these two. And this one over here, again, it goes to one tombstone, and then there's a jumper wire to the other tombstone. So this connects to all four of those contacts. And these two connects to all four of these contacts. So let me strip a little bit of these wires.
And I'm just going to cut and strip some new pieces off of these.
Alright. So we got good clean wires to work with. And so now we're going to run AC hot to these two blue ones. And so we got two AC hots. We're going to put them all together. And we've got quite a few wires here, so let me try and twist them together. good connection here. That's a good connection. Twist the wire nut. There we go, that's one end. And then the two whites go to the red. With a wire nut. Make sure they're in there, nice and tight. And we're done. And you're just going to leave the ground wire. It's already attached to the fixture, just leave that. And now we're going to put the cover back on. Okay, now we're going to put the cover back on. Alright, and now we're going to put a couple LED tubes in here and see what happens. There's one. And here's another. Alright, let's throw the switch and see what happens. There you go. So I'm not sure if you can see the difference. These cameras, they compensate a lot for lighting. But the one in the background is fluorescent and the one in the foreground is LED. And I can tell you just the color of it. It's 6500 Kelvin, I believe, which is like white, as opposed to the yellowish fluorescent. And that's just one fixture. I've got all these fixtures to do in the whole shop, and then it's going to be super bright. Yeah, see, the camera just kind of compensates for the brightness. But that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. And anybody can do this. Not a big deal. And so I'm going to do all of the fixtures in here. And then we're going to come back and see how bright things are. I don't know if I can move back here. Can you see the difference of the brightness? I mean, over here it's kind of yellowish. But in that area it's bright white. So there you go. Converting your fluorescent lamps to LED. Very simple. And I suggest you do it because these lamps are awesome. They use a lot less electricity. They come on bright instantly, you know, in the winter, and they last for 50,000 hours supposedly. So you shouldn't have to do anything to them after that. And so there you go. Until next time, thanks for watching.